Over its 14-year-long run, Ninjago has had a fair share of villains. Many iconic factions such as Snake People, Stone People, Snake Fanatics, Evil Elemental Masters, more Snake People, Bikers, the personification of evil itself, Snake People, Evil Wizard, Water Snake People, and Fairies. Jokes aside, we got many iconic villains over the years, and it's awesome how they decided to make a big crossover event during the final season with Crystalized. Or well, not that big of a crossover, it's only 7 villains from across 20 something factions. 3 of them were from a bunch of most recent seasons, one was a recurring villain since season 1, and the other 2 were randomly brought back from the dead? And the thing is, if the Crystal King can bring back people from the dead, why not go for some 8-tier villains such as Chen or Moro? And so today I'm going to make a little Ninjago what if. What if early Ninjago villains were in Crystalized? So at first the idea was to make a legacy villain video, to match the ninja video, but that would be kinda boring, so I decided to reimagine their outfits and then make them into crystallized forms. Let's see which season did... What the fuck? Let's see which seasons did and which didn't get represented in Crystalized. For the first season we got Pythor and Garmadon, 2 main villains. Of course, Garmadon did not return as a villain in Crystalized, but he did return nonetheless. For season 2, we also got Garmadon, but also Overlord. You could argue that Garmadon wasn't that much of a villain since he got reformed at the end, but he was still the bad guy for majority of the season. Speaking of Overlord, he is also the representative of season 3. He was the main villain of the season, with Pythor once again returning as he's lucky. But then season 4 comes around. No villain from this season returns. It's a missed opportunity because I think it'd be funny to see villains such as Asphira get easily annoyed at Chen. Making his figure started with a bit of a problem. His hat does not exist on mecha bricks. So I tried going with different ideas, because simply going with a cultist skull was not enough. I quickly found out that this fur coat collar piece was almost what I was looking for, as it gave it the right shaping. I also found this piece which was introduced in Ninjago movie CMF, which looked great as ribs. Combining the 2 pieces gave me exactly what I was looking for. Next, I wanted to see how Chen's face would look with this peculiar hat combo, so I quickly remade just his face with no other details and came to the conclusion that it looks good. Then, it was only the matter of giving it more detail. Let's not forget about his eye markings. For the torso, I really wanted to capture his original vibe, so I started with a belt that has serpentine heads on it. Later, I added the snake head and some gold decorations on his robe. I finished the body piece with details such as his necklace and wrinkles. Then the belt, for which I pretty much just reused Legacy Kai DX texture. Wait, you don't know Legacy Kai DX? I made him alongside 3 other Legacy suits in my previous video. Go check it out if you haven't. Back to Chen, I just added a bunch of elements onto his leg, with the dual molding, belt and gold decoration from the torso. Then pretty much just copied it into the other leg. That's it. Here's the Legacy Chen figure. That's not the end though. Here's the Crystalized Chen. I replaced all the golden detailing with silver one, replaced the robe with a gunmetal color, and gave him pink eyes and pink details all over. I also gave him the Sword of Fire because of his iconic interactions with Kai during season 4. So, let's talk about his role in Crystalized. Why would the Crystal King even bother to get Chen back? I think the answer is simple. It would be an easy way to mess with Skylar if she had a bigger role in the ninja team. Chen was always a great manipulator, and I think the side of her father after he was cursed would be really confusing. could also take place of Harumi, where he would be the one to make all the Vengestone transactions. So, is there any canonical reason on why he wasn't in Crystalized? Not to my knowledge, but I can make a headcanon. Simply put, I don't think Overlord has the power to revive cursed souls. What exactly defines a cursed soul after everyone was sent to the Departed Realm? I guess here's where my headcanon falls apart, so let's move on. Season 5. No villain from this season reappeared, but instead another character, Ronin. Despite him fighting against Ninja in the island, he helped them during Crystalized. So, do you already know which villain could and should come back from Season 5? Of course it's Moro. Wait, I was making this video for so long that he actually came back? That's kind of funny. So I started with a blank template and decided to give him this scarf piece introduced in LEGO Movie 2. Starting from the top, I gave him a face with a smirk. And yes, I decided to go with the transparent head once again, instead of an opaque one they used in Dragon's Rising. Does it look bad in real life because no light is able to shine through there? Yes. Do I not care enough because it's only a 3D model and I can artificially make it look good? Also yes. I gave him his angry eyebrows and the eyeshadow similar to that of Chance. Then for the body, I decided to continue the scarf design onto the torso. I was inspired by the new Dark Aryan minifigure. Also, is it just me or does anyone else love this figure? It's honestly amazing and I wish the helmet on this version specifically was black. Then it would be 100% peak. I then gave Moro some more details, added some ropes and a rope decoration. I also wanted to give him something like a chain, perhaps? Since Moro's outfit usually mimic the ninja outfits, I thought of giving him the letter M, since all ninja use the first letter of their names as their symbol. It sticks out from under his scarf onto his belt. Speaking of his belt, I made it drip onto his leg. Next on, I quickly put together something for his legs. And here is the finished Legacy Moro. Here's also his crystallized form. Honestly, I'm not really vibing with how green and purple look on this one. I think him being transparent purple is so much better. Or actually, it's transparent pink. I guess he isn't a ghost anymore, but instead he is somehow channeled through the crystals, made from the crystal energy or something. If there was a golden weapon for Lloyd, he would be the best suited for it. But since there isn't, let's say he hits the scythe best. As you know, Cole was also a ghost once. And now, what would his role in Crystalized be? Honestly, I don't see him appearing in this season at all. He was on good terms with Ninja, or at least Master Wu, so he probably wouldn't want to fight them anyway. Maybe it's better that Moro was left out of this season. Season 6 also did not see any villains returning. Maybe that's for the better, as none of it really happened, so Nadakan would have no reason to crash out and go after Ninja. But if he did, I once again started with a blank template, with which I totally forgot he has a hook for the hand. And that's where I found out the first problem. You cannot do printing on torso expansions in mecha bricks. Not to my knowledge at least. The first thing that came to my head was to find a matching transparent piece and just use that. Then I thought, why not just use a piece of the same color to print on the body? And then I thought, how much decoration do I really need? I probably only need the pirate logo and just call it a day. Then starting from the top, I gave him the Unagami hairpiece, as I thought it would look great on him. And I know for a fact I did not come up with this idea. I must have seen it somewhere, So here's a bunch of people I could find who used that hairpiece on that account before me. Then moving on to the head, I decided to give him a big confident smirk to fit his character in the show. Added cheekbones and wrinkles. Then for the upper torso, I changed the piece to this more detailed one. Then a belt, some chains to symbolize that he is indeed trapped and at will of a person saying the wish. And last but not least, his abs, which are unfortunately covered by the second torso. And so, here's the finished Legacy Ninjago. The Crystalized version uses the same tailpiece as a Sphera. Sky Pirates logo is replaced by the Crystal Council logo, and a bunch of details change color to pink or purple. His golden weapon would be the nunchucks, as Jay was his main enemy, and I also think it would match nicely with the chains I put on him earlier. What would his role be? Well, the Crystal King could wish for an unlimited source of Vengestone, or maybe he could wish to rule Ninjago? Well, since Jin magic doesn't allow for killing, maybe immobilize the ninja? Send them to a different realm or the other side of the world? Fun fact, did you know Nadakan was meant to appear in Crystalized? Unfortunately, he was scrapped as his return would apparently be too complex to explain. Well, honestly, maybe that's for the better, as most of the council didn't do anything anyways. Next up... Season 7 is next. Before Crystalized came out, I remember the most popular theory that the Time Twins are the Vengestone buyer. I remember being fully into this theory, although I was 90% sure it would not be true. I just really wanted some conclusion to their story, as they alongside Wu got lost in time, and as we know now, Wu was found some time later as a child. There is still no information on Acronyx or Crux. As per usual, I started with a blank template. Then, I had a burning question: which headgear do I use? I could simply go with the hood they originally used. But I could also go with this hood without a mask. Finally, I got inspired by LEGO itself, and the Legacy Soul Archer minifigure. See, Soul Archer in 2015 has used a brand new mold for a mask, and in Legacy, he just simply used the same mask as Ninja. I really love that Soul Archer mask piece, as it allows you to make a custom ninja of your own, or, as I have done it, put the mask on Pixel. For the torsos, the original Time Twins had this copper and red armor. So, for my figure, I was inspired by the mech ninja suits. Of course, I gave this armor some copper trim, and later gave it some irregular shapes. Here is how it looks on the figures, and I think it's a good start. The next step was to put the Hands of Time logo on the torsos. So I grabbed one from this Vermilion Warrior and traced it from there. Here's where the differences between torsos would start, so I decided to focus on Acronyx, the young sibling, first. I added some more copper trimming and also added some battle damage. In the end, I also gave him his phone and made this whole thing shiny. To make Crax's torso, I first took Acronyx's armor and just flipped it. Then made it a bit more weathered, as unlike the other armor, this one was not lost in time. Then I gave him his hourglass and shine. I then made a belt and created the print on his legs. I obviously mirrored it and gave it to the other brother as well. Then for the head, since I decided to use the ninja mask, I thought making only the eyes would suffice. So I made these coppered colored eyes with eyeshadow. What's with all these villains having eyeshadow, huh? Then I gave them the unique eyebrows and finally gave them their masks. Here are the finished Time Twins figures. Their crystallized versions have the red details swapped with purple and Hands of Time logo replaced with the cancel one. The golden weapon I gave them was a no-brainer. You might have thought I gave them the Sword of Fire due to their conflict with Kai's and Nia's parents, but I actually opted for giving them the Shuriken, because there's two of them. And here are the Crystalized Time Twins. But what would they do in Crystalized? Maybe Overlord could somehow return their elemental power? Or maybe their powers would just return as, after all, true power is never lost, a quote from the final episode. With these Time Lords by his side, Overlord would be unstoppable. So, in the end, here are all the figures I created for today. Here they are side by side with the original ones. I think Moro especially came out great. Before ending this video, I wanted to thank everyone so much for every like and every comment under my previous video. It really means so much to me and you all are awesome guys. Next time, I'm gonna do some more ninja remakes. And also, use some of your suggestions from this first video. By the way, here's a little speedrun of the little background temple I used in this video. Thank you for watching, subscribe if you enjoyed, and see you next time. Bye!